Good morning and welcome to a day in my life. Hey there, welcome. This is a day in my life video. If you already know me, hey, welcome back. And if you don't know me, my name is Hillary Black and I am a conversation designer, marketer, social media consultant, entrepreneur, and content creator. I am the co-founder and head of marketing at Mav, and I am also the founder of conversationdesignerjobs.com, which is a job board that is specific to conversation designers. I am the creator of the online community Conversation Designers Internet Club, and I am also the creator of the online course Chatbot Writing and Design with UX Writers Collective. This is my first time making a video like this. Usually I am making webinars or a little bit of best practices and tutorials of how you can become a conversation designer, but what I wanted to do is share a little bit about my daily life, what work is like as a conversation designer, and I'm also going to share a little bit about public speaking and my life as a content creator. Let's get into the video. So right now I am about to work on some copy for the marketing site for my job board, which is called Conversation Designer Jobs. We recently launched this new feature that is called candidate matching. And so essentially what it does is when a person posts a job, they can instantly unlock these private candidate profiles based on the skills that are needed for their job. And all the skills we have are specific to conversation design. And so right now I am working on some copy to explain exactly what that candidate matching means and how it works, so that when people are thinking about posting a job on our site, they can read this description and then they can make the decision whether or not they want to post their job with us. This is one small part of what I do to maintain the Conversation Designer Jobs website. I'm always trying to improve what we're doing. We're trying to work on getting more candidates in, getting more jobs posted, and then also creating content for the site itself. And with that, let's get into the writing. So I just finished watching the V2 launch of Botmock, and if you don't know what Botmock is, it is the conversation design tool. It's a tool for people to be able to prototype and design, collaborate with their team on conversation designs. It is really a place where you can test out, experiment your ideas, and I just want to highlight a couple of my favorite features that I saw in V2. The first feature I want to highlight is conditional logic. This is something that I use a lot, especially in qualifying experiences, and I design mostly for text message. So we are asking people for certain responses, and based on what they say, since they don't have those buttons they can click, we're going to be serving up a different answer. And this comes in really, really handy. An example that they actually gave during the demo was for a zip code. So say you are looking for customers that are in a specific geographic area and they would have a certain set of zip code or zip codes that you're looking for. You can actually explain that within Botmock and say to your developer, if it is these zip codes, then we're going to continue on. If it is not, we're going to go to a different place. Being able to do that in an actual conversation design tool, as opposed to doing it through different comments, kind of trying to explain it to them, is a huge game changer for someone like me. The next feature that I want to highlight is actually two parts. So now not only can you switch between languages and you can actually pull up different tabs based on the language that your experience is in, you can also do the same for platforms. So if you're designing something that's going to appear both on WhatsApp and on SMS or on Messenger and also on your website, you can actually create different versions of that, but access the same master copy and then use this drop down to select your channels, to change things up a bit, and it will actually dynamically change based on the features that are available to you in that platform. And then the same thing goes for the language. If you have people on your team who are responsible for the localization, they're going to be able to work within the same canvas as you. Being able to all stay on the same page in the same place is super, super important. And this is a feature that I have not seen with other tools. And then the third feature that I was really impressed with was the design library. This is something that allows you to upload an asset and keep it in a central library that you can use all throughout all of your BotMoc designs. So if you have certain styling that you like to apply to your canvases that is maybe branded, if you're going to be using your logos or certain branded assets, you can actually upload those once and then be able to access them from there, which is going to cut down on a lot of extra work. And you can do the same thing for your intent library. So this is really huge, especially if you're utilizing shared flows. If you do something that is a little bit repetitive between clients, you can actually just do all of that work once and then save it to your library, and then you can access it whenever you need. You can reference it in as many designs as you want, which is something that is really going to come in super handy. Right now, I'm doing a similar thing in a Google spreadsheet where I'm actually having shared flows that I'm utilizing across multiple different bots. And these are for things that are very common, like, hi, how are you? Who are you? Things like that, that aren't necessarily relevant to the actual experience, but they are relevant in the overall ecosystem of all of the experiences that I design for. And so being able to do that in a real conversation design tool is really big to get people from moving from spreadsheets and flowcharts into a real canvas, into a very usable tool that is very collaborative, that is very clean, and they really have impressed me a lot as someone who has used BotMoc for many years, as someone who teaches a course where we use BotMoc as the tool in the course. I have spoken with a lot of people who have used it, and they really have made significant improvements to their product in this version too, so I cannot wait to start using it. One more super exciting thing that I'm going to be doing in a couple of hours is I'm going to be talking to a college class, and I'm going to be talking to them about conversation design. It's a general career talk, so more about how I got into the field, how I went from being an English major, a writer, to a social media manager, to a conversation designer, and I'm going to be giving them some tips if they want to pursue conversation design as a career, just sort of introducing them to what it is, what I do in a day, which is kind of what you're seeing here. Public speaking is something that I have worked super hard on in the past 2 years. It was really something that I was super afraid of. I always got super nervous when I was public speaking. I hated being on camera, hated making videos. And so I really wanted to challenge myself in the past couple of years to just get more comfortable talking out loud. I love giving talks like this. I love talking to people about what I do. I love sharing all about conversation design with people, especially people who have never heard of it before, because I just find the light bulbs that go off for people when they really just discover this as a potential career path is something that I really love helping people with.
Hello, it's me. I just wanted to quickly share my slides a little bit. I'm just going to be sharing with them a little bit about my career journey. So this is actually like my favorite slides. You think that your career journey is going to go this certain way where you're going from college to getting the perfect internship, getting the perfect job, getting your dream job, becoming a CEO, all of the things that they sort of teach us in high school and growing up, that this is what a career looks like, when my career, and I think most people's career, looks a little bit more like this. Especially if you are in college and you don't necessarily know what you want to be doing. I had 7 unpaid internships. I had 6 different jobs that were full-time jobs. And then I didn't actually start doing conversation design until 2016. And that was after I was unemployed, after my last job ever. But I would not be here if it were not for all of this crazy stuff that happened before this. So I'm super excited to share with them today, and I just wanted to give you a little look at this.
Hey again. So I'm about to start the afternoon part of my day. I just finished eating lunch, and now I am back in my office. I'm just sitting down. Like I said, I do have a presentation that I'm doing in a couple of hours. So I am going to work a bit on my slides. And then I also am going to be spending some time editing an automated texting guide. And I'm going to be sort of giving it a little bit of updates so that we can use it for an upcoming conference. And then for the same conference, I am going to be working on a demo bot. So this way that when people come to our booth, they will be able to just text the number, experience the demo for themselves. So we already have a demo that we use on our website, but what I'm going to do is to create a special version of that is specifically for the conference. So I'm going to be editing that script in order to sort of fit that. So that's going to be my design for the day. It's not like a super heavy design day for me, but I am going to be doing that part, and I will show you a little bit of how I design as well. So instead of trying to share my screen this way, let me just insert a little clip of me working on my script.
Hello, now I am coming to you from my browser right here. I figured that the easiest way to show what I do as a conversation designer is to actually show you an experience that I have designed. So this is a bot that I've created for our website right here. So right now we have this button right here on our website that says schedule a discovery call. And what we're going to be replacing this with is an actual SMS experience. So it'll look just like this one here on the right. And it will just say try Mav. So you can try Mav right now. You could text us and you could see exactly how it works. And so what I'm going to be doing for this conference that we have coming up is I'm going to be creating an experience that is specific to that. So instead of just a demo that any person could get, I will be having a specific introduction. It will introduce us, share our booth number, and then it will also give the demo. So it will be very similar to what I'm about to show you, but it will be a little bit different. So this is my template that I currently use to design conversations. The cells that I have highlighted here in yellow are things that I am signifying to my developer that have been updated since the last time this was used. So this is how I will write out my copy, and then I have it identifying all of the different flows. So someone's going to come in, we're going to say, what best describes your role? And this is going to have them jump to a different part in the conversation. This is where I will continue down those flows. So this is sort of, if you imagine a flow chart, this is one of the lower down flows. And this is where we really are qualifying people. So the column right here is everything that the bot is going to say. These are the responses that we are either hoping for or that we are providing for the user. So in SMS, I like to give these options as like A, B, C, D. And this could be translated to, say, a quick reply button in a website chat bot or a Facebook Messenger bot. But if you're doing voice, obviously, this is not something you would be able to provide to people. You just want to make sure that you are training your experience to actually understand more than just these four intents. So this is something that we would do obviously in our bot, but we're going to have a less likely occurrence that people are not going to come back with an intent that is one of these four. They might say, all the time, and we could train that for very often, but most likely people are going to reply with the options that we give them. These notes and these different step twos that I have are things that when I was explaining BotMoc's new features earlier, this could be considered conditional logic. So if a person replies with anything other than rarely, it goes down to this line down here. And then once they are qualified, we're going to ask them if they would like to schedule a discovery call. So this is how we are doing that. And one thing that Mav actually does that I can just give you a little overview of here, we do lead introductions. So as soon as someone is qualified, we can send their contact card, and this is something that works very well in iOS and Android. And so this way, when this example, Ryan, were to call this person, it would say maybe Ryan, and it would be someone that they already are expecting to call them. So a lead is a lot more likely to actually pick up the phone because they know who you are. They know that you're going to be calling them. You could even confirm a time that you're going to be calling them. So that is what I am doing right here. So I'm just writing it as the contact card. My developer would know what this means. And so I don't really need to be explaining it any further than that here. And then another unique thing that is specific to SMS is the ability to send re-engagements. So when a person is texting with you, they might be doing something else and they might not be replying to you right away. This is absolutely normal. And I just was seeing something in my Facebook group earlier today about session times. And so in SMS, we don't have session times. We don't need to end the conversation at a specific time, unlike a website chatbot where you can only keep that session open for so long before you need to move on to the next person. In SMS, we can actually send them messages however often we want. So in especially customer acquisition, which is what this is for, we are going to be sending notifications to them 1 hour later, 24 hours, 3 days, and then 7 days. Those are just what we have found through our own data works the best for our audience. There have been things that we do that can go up to 50 days. They could go up to a year later. You could be texting a person asking if they're still interested in the experience so that we can definitively say yes, they are interested, or no, they are not interested. So I just wanted to show you this finished version of what I work on. This is really a lot better way to give a demo to someone because they can see it and they can experience it for themselves. They can test drive the experience versus you just showing them a computer screen and saying, here's what we do. Aren't we great? Do you want to sign up? We really think that this is a good way for people to see the value, especially when they see those re-engagements and they see that, hey, they're sending me a text message an hour later because I didn't get past this line right here. That's really a good way for people to remain engaged and people to understand the value of our product. That's all I have for now for my tour of my conversation design template. I do have a YouTube video on my page that will go through how you can use this exact template for yourself. I've made it publicly available for anyone who wants to use it. So I will post the link to this spreadsheet and the template in the description of this YouTube video so that you can get access to it for yourself. One more thing that I want to show you before I jump back into the video is BotMoc. So I have been talking about this a lot in this video. So I just wanted to give you an idea of how this looks. So if you are in BotMoc, you can create your flow map and you can also store everything here. And what I actually do is I still draft my copy here and then I just copy and paste it over into BotMoc. And this is sort of just how it is to use BotMoc. So right now I'm going to be asking a question so you can sort of just see how that looks. And then the answers. So I'm going to just include this as a jump. And so what this does, I don't have this set up right now, but if you were to have a jump, you can actually have other flows stored. So if you had a global talk to a human flow, you would be able to reference that saved project here. So I don't have to recreate the entire thing. I can sort of just go into another one and I don't have to actually recreate something that I am sharing between multiple projects. And that is something that I do a lot, especially when it's things that could apply globally, like talking to a human. So then this is going to be sort of my main flow, which is then going to be identifying the track. So basically what I'm going to do is just go down the line, go through all of my flows, and I'm going to copy them over here. And then what I can do afterwards is I can sort of create a journey. And then what I can do is I can select basically the path that I want to, and then I can create a video of it. This is something that I could share with my team. And it is a really good way to, with a client, with your team members, you can really easily explain what the heck your bot is supposed to do. Seeing it play out this way is very different and a lot more dynamic than seeing it right here. Even if we're talking about the length of the messages, a lot of times I will write big text blocks that I don't actually realize how they're going to look on the screen. And the good part about this is you don't have to use any developer resources in order to do this testing yourself. So testing and iterating, editing is a huge part of conversation design. And this is something that I can now do on my own before I'm even sending it to them. And then once you have those, you can also embed them on your portfolio. So it's a really easy way for you to just create simple experiences to be able to show your work, which is another reason why I really like tools like this, because you can get a lot done and you can really illustrate what you're thinking without having to know how to code, without being a developer, and very quickly see and feel and experience your chatbot.
So I just finished my careers talk talking about conversation design. I think that it went well. Like I said in my little intro, I have a tendency to talk super fast especially if I'm excited about something. So it makes me lose my voice, which I kind of have done now, which is very funny because all I was doing was talking to maybe 20 people. But it was super fun. I haven't done any public speaking in probably about like 3 or 4 months. So this definitely has inspired me to continue talking to people. So this was really people who just never had heard of conversation design before. They don't know if they're interested in it, and I don't know if now they are interested in it, but I really hope that they took something away from it because I had a lot of fun, even if I lost my voice. And what I think I'm going to do now is actually end my day. So it's interesting because I put up a little suggestion on Instagram and asked people if I were to film a day in my life, what did they want to see? And a few of the suggestions were about how I start my day and how I end my day. So I found that very interesting because it's not really like career related. It's not really like actually a day in my life. It's sort of just, I guess, strategies for living. I do think I'm going to just like put a pin in this day and sort of like transition into my evening time. And usually what I do in order to do that is I just leave my office, turn the light off, and then I go out into my living room. And then I just start to basically transition my life from working into living. So let's do that now.